Hey, folks. Dave back here in Studio Riverfront Stadium. I'm just trying some of the background stuff out here with the StreamYard. I actually do have a green screen behind me, but because it's not wide enough, if you can believe it, I have to use their kind of homemade background remover, so it's not quite as good as some of the as a real green screen. But this green screen is like right up against my back, and I'm afraid I'm going to knock it over. But it's still not wide enough. But anyway, I thought it'd be fun to try something new tonight as I talk about baseball games. This is kind of just an open chat, if you will, about baseball games. I've been playing a ton of them lately. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because I never really played a lot of the baseball. I did mostly hockey and football. I'm just finding myself enjoying the baseball games. Let me just say that. Um, and I just want to talk about them a little bit tonight. It just kind of willy nilly off the cuff, just me chatting. And if you want to come in and chat, feel free. If you want to leave a comment, leave a comment. Be nice though. Just be nice. Eh, the first thing I will say in general about baseball games, there's a ton of them, and I'm glad I'm enjoying them because I'm looking forward to like playing more of these because I'm really enjoying that, especially the 1980 season seems to be like one of my favorite seasons. Uh, so um, so I'm going to talk a little bit about the games I have, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think I got a dozen baseball games, and I probably have more than that somewhere. So I'm going to talk about the 12 that I have that I've played a little bit here. Just kind of me just chatting about it. Nothing too crazy, but I do want to chat about some of the games I've been playing. And I think what I'm enjoying mostly about playing these baseball games is I'm such a just I'm enjoying the game for the game. And you guys get nuts. Let me tell you, you baseball guys, you get completely nuts when it comes to baseball games. I mean, you guys are in each other's feeds, giving each other crap and commenting, and I just play and I enjoy it. And I don't worry about who's coming in and who's going out and pitching around anybody. I just play and I have more fun. Now, I suppose I'm probably that way with hockey. As I see a lot of people that play hockey games. I'm like, why would you do that? It's like, and they're just like, well, I don't know. I'm just playing and having fun. So I can kind of see both sides of that. But you baseball guys are nuts. Let me tell you. It's almost like you can't enjoy playing the game because you're so worried about playing the game and doing things correctly, if that makes any sense. Uh, so let me get right into it here. Let me go and just go right down my list of some of the games here that I've been starting with. So let me start with the first one here. I'll type it in so we can talk about it. Okay, so let's talk about Strat-O-Matic here first off. Hi, Robbie. Good to see you here, buddy. I was watching one of your videos tonight, by the way. I was playing some APBA Go, and I was watching one of your videos on APBA Go tonight. So I was watching one of your old videos. It was kind of neat. Let's talk about Strat-O-Matic, though. Strat-O-Matic baseball. It's one of the first ones I played, and um, I got the 1980 season. I think I got a 77 as well, and I think I got 2004 because that's the year the Red Sox won. I don't think I've even unpacked the 2004. Still sitting on the shelf over there. I just saw it tonight when I went through everything. Stratomatic Basic is fun. It is basic, but it is so easy to play. It's pick up and play. So Stratomatic Baseball, I pulled that out the other day and I played a game, and I hadn't played it probably since last summer. Is the last time I played, and now this is January 11th. And by the way, it's 3 degrees here. It is absolutely freezing here today. We lost power. Yeah, at supper time we lost power. I says, "Oh man, this could be a real cold night if the power's come back on." It was back on in a half hour, so I give them the electrical company a lot of credit for fixing that. That was good. And last night I come home from the rink at 11:30. It was 10, I think, or 11, and my electric blanket died. I turned on my electric blanket, it didn't go on. I was like, "Oh man, the coldest night of the year. I don't have an electric blanket. How fun is that?" Um, so yeah, get back to your channel, do some stuff, Rob. It's good stuff. That's why I like going back and watching some stuff that I haven't played in a while. So I refresh myself, with videos like that. Anyway, Stratomatic Basic. It's fun. Stratomatic Basic is so fun. It's because it's basic, and I can whip through a game pretty quick. I don't usually get stuck in the game. Everything's simple enough for me, and I really, really enjoy the simplicity of Stratomatic Basic. That being said, the advanced is really not. It is more advanced and it is more difficult, but it's not impossible. If I compare it to the hockey game, the Strat Basic hockey is really a boring game. It really is a boring game. And after playing 2 games of Basic, I immediately went to Advanced, and it just was like, oh yeah, this is way better. I still don't play super advanced Strat hockey. I just play the Advanced, but I think going from Strat hockey with Basic to Strat hockey Advanced is a small jump. There's a few things that take place differently, but it's pretty much the same game with just a little bit more options on the card. How the Strat baseball though, I think going from Basic, because then you flip the card over and then you get the lefty righty splits and there's a lot of symbols, and I think going to Strat from Basic to Advanced in the baseball is a bigger jump than baseball to Advanced in the hockey. That's just my opinion from playing a little bit of it there. Stat stopped by. He plays Strat for 25 years. I've only been playing Strat for a little bit here, so I'm just kind of going down my list of games that I have. I'm just going to talk about them a little bit. Again, I don't have a favorite yet, because they all do really fun things to me, and that's why I've been playing them all. I think I played 5 different games this week, baseball games. And so I made a list of all the ones I have here. I made a list, and I'm checking it twice. And I'm just going to talk about them here on the channel and get some feedback here from the experts, I should say. So the Strat-O-Matic Basic's really fun. I like how fast it plays, and it spells everything out, and you don't really get to check a lot of like ratings and stuff. And sometimes I like that. The advanced, I find it's almost. I wish there was something in between basic and advanced, because I feel the jump to advanced is a big enough jump that there's a lot going on. That's just me, but that's my feelings, that when I go to the advanced, I can get about 75 or 80% of it right off the bat, and the rest of it I'm thumbing through the rules and I'm looking at shots and I'm trying to sort it all out. So I do wish that there was a smaller jump from basic to advanced in the baseball with Strat. That would be my comment on that. Fenner, join us here. JL here. I'm just talking about all the baseball games I have for a minute or two. I'm not going to go too crazy here, but I want to talk about all the ones. So I started off with COVID Central. I know it's everywhere. It's everywhere. It's gone through my house. It's gone through my mother-in-law's, my sister-in-law's. It's gone through my house. It's everywhere. The good news is this strain is supposed to be less severe. Let's just say that that's the good news. So let me just get back to Strat. I'll wrap up my comments with Strat, at least initial thoughts. The basic game is a blast. I just wish they had more seasons. I got a couple of seasons, but man, I would pick up a few more Strat seasons on the cards and dice. They're not in stock. And, with the hockey, I had to go through the wild, through the eBays and the, a few other things there to find some Strat seasons. And, I got a lot of the hockey that I really like, but I had to pay a lot of money for them. And it's like, I don't want to do that with baseball. Oh, RJ, you tested positive. Oh, hopefully you're feeling okay, bud. Hopefully you're doing okay with that. I drink a lot of water. They said, take your vitamins. I take like handfuls of vitamins every day, and I have for many years now. And I rarely, knock on wood, get sick. It takes a lot to knock me down, like a 10-degree windy Thanksgiving day when I'm broadcasting a football game. That's the last time I got sick, was I think a year and a half ago. No, two and a half years ago. I did a football game outside, and they were postponing the games because it was so cold. They were postponing the games. We did our game, and I was standing on top of the press box doing the game, and I got bronchitis because I was just so cold. So cold. It was just a stupid thing to do. Anyway, so hopefully you're feeling okay. And you can Stat Tad's on his 10th day of COVID. Oh man. Yeah, it's the world's worst game that dropped by here. You've been hooked on APBA baseball. I'm gonna get to APBA baseball. I played it tonight. I did. It was actually one of the listeners of the show who's in the chat room. It might even be APBA Chatter. Or it was Tebow. I had somebody send me APBA baseball, APBA football, and then someone else sent me the APBA hockey. Maybe it was Tebow that sent me the baseball. And I pulled that out and I played tonight. I played that tonight, and I want to talk about that. But let me get back to this Strat-O-Matic. So, yeah, I kind of wish there was a little bit less of a jump between basic and advanced, and I wish they had more seasons. But Strat Baseball is something I might look into playing a little bit more. I don't have the PC game because that's all. I think you can play advanced in a PC game. I think at some point I will. I think the next time I know they had a big sale coming up. They already had their big sale. I think at some point I might grab it, the PC version of Strat. But Strat Basic is blast. I love it. I can play Strat Basic all day long. I really do like that. And the advanced, I dabbled in the advanced. It wasn't terrible, but neither was it basic either. So that was the deal with Strat. What else can I talk about here? Oh, well, let's just talk about this right here. Let's talk about APBA, because I just played APBA tonight. Oh, you get the physical copy of Pocket Pennant Run. I'm going to get to that next after APBA. I will. That's going to be great. I played some APBA tonight. I must say, I enjoyed the heck out of it. I have the 1978 season. I think it's the old cards because they're really kind of faded. And again, that's the one that somebody sent me. So I have the old book and the old cards. I'm tempted to go and buy the new book in a season, like 80 probably. But it's $78 for a season, and I it's tempting because I was enjoying the heck out of the 78 I played tonight. What I really like about it, and Robert says it felt too predictable, I like the charts. I like the fact that you look at the charts and it tells you everything that happens, even with the base runners for the most part. I like that because that's where I trip up in the game, is when you get guys on base and you get a hit, and then it's like, what happens to the runners? And you're checking the shortstop, you're checking the right field, you're checking the batter, you're checking the catcher. There's all these checks you got to do on the cards, and I feel like I'm just going through card after card after card trying to find the result. And I know that plays to the accuracy of the baseball game, but boy, it really disrupts the game. It does. I just feel like it just. If I got to keep stopping and looking things up, it takes me out of the mood, so to speak. Flow, we call the flow. I'm getting hot here. I got to take off my jacket. Hopefully this ain't going to mess anything up. Again, I'm trying the new green screen option here. I have a green screen behind me here. It's just, it doesn't cover the whole screen, so I got to use the StreamYard one that simulates a green screen. I think it's actually doing okay. Replay PC. I will be talking about that for 1 second in a minute too, as I just run down my baseball game that I like to talk. But I just played APBA tonight. I haven't played it since last summer when I got it, or maybe it was the summer before. It might have been during the quarantine that I got it. It might have been 2020, but I pulled it out tonight, and I didn't realize that there was two football teams too. So I might try the APBA football. I guess he sent me a smorgasbord of games. I thought he just sent me the baseball. But anyway, so I played Boston, Detroit, 1978, and no issues. Played the whole game. I don't like the cards because they don't have the team on there. So if I ever dropped them on the ground and they mixed up, I wouldn't know. I'd have to go through them again to figure out what team is there. So I mean, at least put the city on there. That's all I ask. Put the city on there just so I can orientate myself. So to have a card with no team name and no city, I didn't really like. So I don't like the APBA card for that reason. And it's chock full of nicknames. If a guy had a nickname, if he had 10 nicknames, you're going to hear them all in that game. But they can't put the city on there. I know they can't put the nickname of the team. That's fine. The team name. But just give me a team, a city, so I know what team he's on. Because when I came in, they all came loose, and it took me couple of hours or so sorting through these cards, trying to figure out who's on what team. That was a pain in the neck. It really was. So I don't like the APBA cards themselves for that reason. Now, if they printed out new ones that do have the city on there, maybe someone could tell me that. So if you play APBA baseball, if I order a new set of cards, will it have the city on there? That would tremendously help me out. But I do really like the APBA baseball. I like going to the charts, and it tells you, what's beautiful about it, and I forgot about this because I haven't played, is that you got a bases empty shot, a man on first shot, a man on first and third shot. I mean, any possible combination of bases are on there. You go to the chart. It's almost like hockey blast where you open up. It's like, are you on a regular strength? Is it a power play? Is it an open net? Is it 5-on-3? I mean, there's a chart for everything, and I kind of like that. So when I was playing the APBA baseball tonight, I like the fact that I could flip to the page and, okay, I got first and third. What happens? And it spells it all out for you. The only thing is you got to remember to turn the page, because there was a couple times that I was like, this doesn't make any sense. I'm like, oh, I'm on the wrong chart. Then when I flipped to the right chart, it made sense. But I had a blast with the APBA tonight. I played a quick game APBA. In fact, I got the sheet right here. And it was the Red Sox at Detroit, 1978. The Red Sox won 5-3. Let's see. John Walkenfuss had a 2-run home run in the second inning for the Tigers to account for 2 of their 3 runs, and that's about it. I had a lot of errors in this game. 1, 2, 3, 4 errors on the Tigers in this game. E6, E1, E6, and E5. So I got a lot of errors in this game. But I thought I had a decent amount of strikeouts, not too many walks. But it was in the basic mode, I guess. I had a blast. Had an absolute blast playing APBA baseball tonight. I just wish that, the cards look better. And $78 is a lot to get into it, but I enjoyed it tonight. And I'm thinking about getting the new book, because I have the old book, and I'm thinking about getting the 1980 season. So I'm thinking about that. Let me see. What else can I talk about here? Well, I'm going to talk about the new game that I've been playing. Pocket. I like to put it up on the screen here so we can know what I'm talking about here. Pocket Pennant Run is the new one I've been playing. And I actually have it right here. I have it right below me over here. So I have it on I have this little, my little L shots here, they're called. And I put sorry about that. I got my green screen flashing. But I have my rule. I just have my rules here, and I also have my chart for it. I did a colored chart for it. It's come out really nice. That really helps. I went into Photoshop, and I don't know if Matt would allow me to share that with anybody, but all I did is I put color behind like strikeouts, and I separated everything by color, and it makes it so much easier to look up results because you're not looking at an all white screen. So if you get a low number, you can see, okay, is it this? You get a high number, okay, where's the break, for base hits or outs? And that works especially when there's like nobody on base or 2 outs, outs and out, and you don't got to worry about really what happens to it. So I find when I did that, it sped up the game tremendously when I did that. But Pocket Pennant Run, it is, I want to say it's even a little simpler than Strat Basic, and I love Strat Basic, but Pocket Pennant Run, oh my God, it's my favorite new game. It's just so easy to play. It comes with all the seasons. The software that comes with it's unbelievable. It's $10. It's the best $10 I ever spent on a game. This game is fantastic. It's like the shootout hockey of baseball games, Pocket Pennant Run. And I'm enjoying playing the heck out of it. I am playing 1980. What I did is I took the final 4 teams. The Yankees swept the Royals, okay, and the Astros swept the Phillies. So I get 2 new entrants in the 1980 World Series. So I guess it's called the fictional World Series. And so I got Houston at New York. I'm going to Game 6. Houston's winning 3-2. It's been a great series. It's been a lot of fun. Enjoying the heck out of it. And Pocket Pennant Run is right now probably my favorite game because of how easy it is to play. And someone made a comment. Robbie, I'll talk about APBA. Oh, I forgot. I skipped. I'll talk about APBA Go before I wrap it up. I did play APBA Go tonight a little bit, and it's clunky. APBA Go is really clunky, and I wish it did more because I'd probably subscribe to it or buy a season and play it. I wish it did a little bit more than it does, but it's just too clunky for me, and that's why I really didn't get into it before. Anyway, Pocket Pennant Run. And someone put this really good because I've been trying to put my thumb on this game. And there's like a lot of the hardcore baseball guys are, they're picking this game apart a little bit. Pocket Pennant Run is a fantastic, fun, compact, simple baseball game that anybody can play. And you can be up and running in a second in this game. There is no learning curve at all. It is a piece of cake. However, it's rated very broad, and that's a great way of putting it. The ratings are very broad, so it's almost like, if you got someone rated, if it's 0 to 50, well, the 49 is going to be rated with the 0, and the 50 is going to be rated with 100. So if you follow that, so the 49 is not quite a 50, even though 49 is a lot closer to 50. The 49 is going to be rated with the zeros and the ones and the twos. So that's what I mean by a broad rating. It just seems like, from what I've been reading, they've been fair discussions on the game. But the concern is that, well, why is this person this and then this person this? Because I think it's just rated kind of broad, and that was the idea behind the game, to make it simple, to make it fun to play, and you get all those seasons in there. I mean, you can't complain about the value for this game at all. But I can see how the hardcore people might have an issue with some of the ratings in this game, because it's rated very broad, and I think that was a very fair way to put it. That being said, I love it. I probably played more of this than most of the baseball games I own, at least cards and dice wise. So Pocket Pennant Run, that's the new one that just come out. I've had a blast with it. I like the fact that you don't have to print out the teams. You just go right to the software, print out the game you want to play, and boom, there you go. And I played just on the tabletop. I've incorporated it with PC Replay, and I need to do more of that. I'll get into PC Replay in a minute, but I can see myself, setting up PC Replay, playing some games in PC Replay, simulating games in PC Replay, and then pulling out Pocket Pennant and playing a game and putting in the stats from Pocket Pennant. I just love it so much. It's tiny game. Again, the cards are like decks of cards. That's all you get. Little deck of cards. All the rules are that way too. I kept all the rules in a chart. I didn't print them out. I didn't cut them out. I kept them on a chart. That way I can just put them over here and look at them, and I can get at everything. So instead of thumbing through the rules, I just have them on a sheet. It really is, of the charts, I should say. And it's one page. It's one page of charts, and it tells you everything that goes on. It tells you who advances and who doesn't and who's out. It's genius. And that's what I really like about that game, is that you don't have to mess around with guys on base. It's much like the APBA. APBA tells you what the heck happens when you get a hit, and what happens to the base runners. That's what Pocket Pennant does too. So that's my favorite new game. It's $10. If you don't have it, get it. It's unbelievable. Al, thanks for coming by. And I'm just kind of chatting baseball tonight. You're picking up Pocket Pennant Run because of simplicity. Yeah, I feel that same way too, Fen. I feel overwhelmed in other baseball games, and I'll get to some of the games I feel overwhelmed with. And Pocket Pennant, I picked it up and I loved it immediately. And I was playing another game at the time, and I set it aside. And Pocket Pennant's been my go-to game. I have it here. It's not put away. When I'm done with the game, I put it away. This is out on the table at all times, so I can pick up and roll. And I like some of the homebrew ideas people have come up with. The one thing, I think his name was Frank Burgo, was talking about adding a green die, and that way there, if you get a ground out, if the green die, that extra die, is a 1 or a 12, that turns into a pop out, because there's no pop outs in this game. And when we talked with Matt and Craig, I think it's Matt and Craig. Let me just double check their names. I want to make sure we had them on the show, but it is late and it's 3 degrees out and I'm tired. Yes, Matt and Craig, we had on the show. And they said that, in order to make a game with this small of a footprint, with this few of a charts, there were some things that they had to cut out. And they're exactly right. There's things that aren't in the game, and some people are bothered by that. Myself, I'm not. I'm not bothered by that at all, because of how easy the game plays. But that adding the green die, and I think it was Frank Berger was his name, on the Pocket Pennant Facebook group, and he said that he does that, and on a 1 or a 12, if the ground ball, that turns into a pop out. And I've been trying that. I've tried that for the last 2 or 3 games, and I have not had a pop out yet. So it's not affecting much. It's not wrecking the game. It's not changing the game. And I just haven't had a pop out yet. I also use the green die for more aesthetics in Pocket Pennant Run, whereas I use the defensive chart. Okay, if you get a pitcher on the pitcher card, that you go to the defensive chart, and the yellow die tells you who the ball was hit to. I use that to see where the ball was hit for a like a single or a double or something like that. I just I look at the green die, and I look at the defensive area, and I see where it was hit, and that's what I say. Oh, and he hit a single to left or right of center, or past the second baseman. It just adds a little bit of, like I say, kind of flair and color to the game. It doesn't affect it at all. So I throw an extra die in there for Pocket Pennant Run. And, they're working on a whole bunch of things. There's been a ton of ideas as far as making this game a little bit better. I understand they don't want to get too far away from what it is, but I think you could do a couple little things like that with that green die, or maybe creating a rare play chart or something like that. But I am loving Pocket Pennant Run. And it may not be the most accurate game out there, but the fun factor is 10. And for me, with a baseball game, that is fantastic. So let's see. What's the next game I want to talk about here? All right, let's talk about the game behind me here. Okay. So let's talk about Action PC Baseball. Now, I know this is computer only, and I think this is another one that you have to buy the seasons for, which is kind of that's industry standard for some of the computer games. Not all of them, but some of them. I like this game. I need to play this more. This is one of those that when I play it and I start getting used to it, it's like, wow, this is fun. Why don't I play Action PC more? I mean, it does everything you want it to do. It simulates the games. You can really manage the teams. You can play one team. You can play all the teams. You can play none of the teams. It can simulate to a certain point. It keeps all your stats. You can add, like I say, I added, Riverfront Stadium. I got the team logos up there. You can change even see the fielders there in the red. You can change all them. I think I actually went into the season I'm playing, the 1980 season, and I changed like all the road teams to either like a gray or the powder blue for some teams. So it's kind of neat. So it's almost like you're looking at the actual team uniform, but you can do all that. You can customize the crap on Action PC. It plays easy. You can go pitch by pitch, which you don't usually do, but if you want to, you can. Most of the time, it's just batter by batter. But Action PC, it's solid game. Enjoying it. Like I say, I always say this. I need to play it more because when I play it, it's a blast. It really is. And I got to thank Ron for showing me how to play just at bat. Because again, I don't really know about when to take pitches out and who to put pitches, which pitcher to put in. I'm not good at that. I'm just not. And as far as like, who's going to pinch hit and who's going to play where. So I have it set up where I just bat, and it's perfect because now the computer handles everything in the field, pulling the runners into the corner. I mean, the fielders in. It does all that I don't know much about. So I really enjoy that. I've set Action PC up to a point where I can just kind of broadcast it and just hit the hit button. I really, really like that with Action PC. So Action PC is a really, really fantastic game. Let me see. How about this one here? This is another new game that I picked up on Black Friday, Pine Tar. And this one kind of come out of nowhere for me because I saw people play it and I didn't know much about the Pine Tar game. And I said, well, let me pick it up. I got a really good deal on the sale. And I picked up a couple of seasons. The only issue I have with Pine Tar is the lack of seasons, much like Strat, who's sold out of everything. Pine Tar, I enjoy playing. Pine Tar is really geared up for the people who want to play, the 20 Yankees and the 82 Mets or whatever. It's really meant for that cross season type of thing. Best of. That's how Pine Tar, I feel like that's how it was designed and what it's meant for. It's really not meant to play the Blue Jays and the Mariners from 79. That's just not what I think it is. But Pine Tar, it's got two charts instead of one. So Pocket Pennant's got one page of charts. It says 2 pages of charts, and everything's right there. Again, it tells you when the ball is hit, what happens to the runners. So there's no checking fielders and getting. It tells you exactly what happens. So you fit. So what I like to do with Pine Tar and Pocket Pennant is fit the what the game tells me, and then come up with my own imagination of what happened. So instead of checking, all the ratings of players to get the most accurate reading, I just go what happened in the game. If it's a ground ball and it's a fielder's choice and everybody advances and they get the man at first, I envision in my head it was a slow grounder. The guy came in, he bobbled it, he couldn't go anywhere but first. And in my mind, I play that out in my head, and I don't got to think about it, and I don't got to tie myself up looking at cards and what's his number again, and And some people might enjoy that. I don't even like doing that with hockey that much. I want that to be resolved like that so I can keep the game moving. So Pine Tar does that. I like that they I didn't cut out the guys in Pine Tar either. I have them all on one sheet, and that way I can just look at my team sheet and be good to go. As far as looking at guys, so I'm not thumbing through guys. It's all right there on a sheet. I do like that with Pine Tar. I just wish they had more seasons because it plays so good. Pine Tar really plays good. It really does a nice job. It's right up there with like the Strat Basic and the Pocket Pennant Run, this Pine Tar game. And I really wish they would do more 70s and 80s seasons because I would pick it up more and I would play more. I really would. So Pine Tar is I've only played a couple of games of Pine Tar again because I got it at the Black Friday sale, and I got a couple seasons and I played one game. I forget who I played. I usually play American League teams because I don't know how to use the DH very well. All right, let's get to the another big one here that I really enjoy playing, and that's the PC replay baseball. Let me just take a drink of my my seltzer water here. PC replay is the most versatile piece of software I have when it comes to sports sims. You can play PC replay baseball in a million ways. It feels like you can have the computer sim games. You can do a quick play. You can sim the day, sim the week. You can, again, like Action PC, you can play one game or you can sim them all or play every game, whatever you want to do with it. It's fantastic. PC replay is so good. And the fact that you can roll your own dice, I've done that before. I've set up a second camera right over my dice tower and I rolled. Remember, that's the game I rolled the 6-6. I think it was 6-6-6 at the end of the game. And Fred Lynn had the walk-off home run in the ninth. That was live. I did that on YouTube with PC replay, rolling my own dice. That was so damn cool with the PC replay. And the fact that you have to have the season, but you can input stats. And that's what I've been doing with my Pocket Pennant Run. If you notice the stats I've been putting up on Facebook is that I'll play the game in Pocket Pennant and I'll sit here and I'll put my sheets here in front of me and I'll go into PC replay and I have the series all set up and I just go and I log in when I did. And I can enter the stats in for my Pocket Pennant. Now, Pocket Pennant Run takes me, I think I timed myself at about 29 minutes was the fastest I could play Pocket Pennant Run. And that's not racing. That's just kind of playing at my normal clip, being distracted with, YouTube and the radio and satellite radio, whatever I'm listening to, And so when I get done that, I put in the stats into PC replay and I can get those stats in, I don't know, a couple of minutes, really not that long. It's like, strikeout, ground out, this, okay. And it automatically flips everything for you. You're just inputting the stats. Sometimes I don't even look to see who's at bat. I just kind of go and so I can really, use the PC replay. It's very versatile. I mean, I just talked about how you can let the game roll the dice and play it. You can play one team, play both team. You can just sit back and watch it happen, simulate the games, roll your own dice. You can play any game. And I'm glad they have the 1980 season because that's one of my favorite seasons. So I can play any game that I have here on my cards and dice list that I have 1980. I can play on the table and input the stats and feel like I participated in that. And yes, like Robert says, they need a hockey game. I would love to have a hockey game that would do that. And I don't know how they could do it because baseball is, like I say, it's an at-bat thing. And even football, it's a play-by-play thing. Hockey's got so much else going on. I don't know how you do that. Maybe just enter the box score or something. But I would love to be able to play, Strat or APBA or Shootout or, one of the other myriad of hockey games I got and be able to just enter the stats in and contribute to the season. And there's not a game out there that does that. Strat PC hockey is probably as close as you can get, but again, you can't input anything. You can't even roll your own dice. I wish you could at least roll your own dice, but PC replay baseball is super fantastic. It is just so good. Don't know what else to say. Let's see. What else do I want to talk about here as far as baseball games? It's on my list. All right. I know I'm going to get someone mad at me here. All right, let's talk about inside pitch. Okay. I only have the PC version of this. I don't have the cards and dice version. And I'm kind of glad I don't because I would never figure out this game. This game is so far over my head that I have a hard time with the PC version, and I got to constantly pull out the rules to learn it. And I know Robert is a master at this game, and I probably, if I sat down with him for a half hour, he'd show me how to play it, and I'd be fine. But for me, it's not what I want out of a baseball game because maybe it's what I want out of a hockey game. But for a baseball game, I want something more along the lines of APBA or Strat Basic because I just want my results. I don't want to have to do too much thinking in a baseball game. I just want to do. I don't want to think. I just want to do. And inside pitch is a lot of thinking. And I have it on the computer. I played that game the other night. It was a blast. What I played, 1980? I did opening day Toronto at Seattle. I don't know why, because I just picked it because of the lineups were in there, and I just played. And the poor Parrot guy, he got nailed. He got rocked for 8 runs in the first inning. I left him in because I'm like, I'm not taking him out. I'm not taking him out in the first inning. So I left him in, and I thought I played it correctly. That's the thing, that it's such a complex game that I thought I did everything right. I thought I got a lot of singles. I mean, the computer handles a lot of the heavy lifting. I'm still not 100% sure what I was what if I was doing it right. But it was fun, and that game challenged me. I got even on the computer trying to follow along and learn what I was clicking on. That was one of the games. And that sparked the episode solving the puzzle on the Digital to Dice podcast. When we talk about solving the puzzle, this was the game, inside pitch, because I was having a hard time with it, and I said I really, really want to see if I can get this game to work. This inside pitch, and I got it doing pretty well. But as you can tell, if you look at in the comments on the games that I did, I made a lot of mistakes, and I continue to make a lot of mistakes with this game. But I still like it though. I still like to play it. I still have my fun with it. I'm just kind of changing the chat thing here, so I can make sure that I don't get any dummies coming in here doing some stupid things. Sorry about that. But I'm back now. So I'm enjoying it. I do wish that the PC version would allow you to sim games, so I could like Action PC and Strat and all the other ones. Because I do like to pick it up at times because I like it's true cards and dice, and I really like cards and dice sometimes. And inside pitch is a big challenge for me, but it's probably way over my head and way too deep for me. It's probably the most accurate game out there, but for me, I get lost real fast about what to do with that. So, but that is that. All right, so So Fenner's got a good one here. Let's change this here and let's talk about something else here. All right, so yeah, let's talk about the payoff pitch. Payoff pitch was kind of my answer to Strat Advanced. When I was playing that, and when I got my first game, I bought a PDF, and I think it was $9 for a season, and then like $6. I think I spent $15 on the game in a season. I think I got 79 at the time, and I printed it out, and I think I showed everybody the cards. I went into Photoshop. I took forever going into Photoshop, adding colors, because what it didn't do is there was a all white card, and what I did is I put some shading in, like I added yellow shading behind, like I did with the pocket pennant charts, and then I could see everything so much better. But it took hours and hours and days to go through every team from 79, put the shading behind everything, make it look right, add the team logo. I mean, these cards are probably the best cards I've ever made. The ones I printed out for Payoff Pitch 1979, and I've showed them off on the channel. They were so good. They come out so good. It just took a long time. And I ended up buying the fast action cards from Joe for Payoff Pitch, and they really do help. They really eliminate a lot of the, what happens on the play, because the fast action cards will tell you, hey, this guy goes here or this guy doesn't go here, and it does a great job. Well, I played it the other day. Again, I played a bunch of baseball this week, and that's why I'm kind of doing this talk here. Is the payoff pitch? I still needed to go back and to look at all the charts and the directions to keep me going. So I think if I want to play a payoff pitch, it's a little more complex than I remember it. Maybe because I just went back and played APBA, Strat Basic, and Pocket Pennant, which are very, very easy games to play. There was a lot of checks that I had to look up. There was a lot of things I had to remember. If you're hitting out of the tough, there's a special rule. If you're hitting out of wheelhouse, there's a special rule. So what I really need to do with payoff pitch is and even with the stealing of the bases and bunting, you have to look at charts to figure out, what his rating is to steal, and what, that gives you. You look at the catcher and you look at the runner, and that gives you a excellent or good or poor chance to steal a base. So I got to constantly pull out the chart for that. So if I could put some of these little charts on a cheat sheet, as well as what happens in tough and what happens in wheelhouse, is a lot of little things. And even the wild pitch, I never check for wild pitches. It's just check for a 30 or a 31. I never check. I just and that's where, if there's a lot going on in a game, and there's another game I'm going to talk about in 1 second. If there's a lot going on in a baseball game, especially, you lose me. You just do. And not the payoff pitch has lost me, but there's a lot of little things going on. And so what I played the other day, and I got through 7 innings, and I was like, yeah, I think I'm going to stop here. I really, really need to do a cheat sheet for payoff pitch. So as much as I'm enjoying payoff pitch, and I bought 1980, and I think I bought 85 too, printed. They're gorgeous cards. I need to come up with a cheat sheet for that off to the side, and just something, so it's like, if I'm not sure, I can look and just remind me. And I do that for in the crease hockey. When I play cards and dice, I use the Peter Miller cheat sheet card, and it just, if I'm ever stuck, I look there and it's like, oh yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. So that's what I need with payoff pitch. So payoff pitch is fun. I have a bunch of seasons for it. I have some PDF. And I have some printed ones, and the fast action cards are great because I roll the dice, and then if I need to, I go to fast action to resolve it. But you still need to go to charts once in a while to see what's going on. So I need to come up with some sort of a compromise with payoff pitch, as far as, I don't want to keep digging through the instructions in the charts, and you can't use the fast action for everything, which is kind of weird because there's still a lot of things you got to look up. But it's solvable. Payoff pitch is solvable. And you think the base running's a little weak, Justin, in payoff pitch? I haven't played enough of it to know that, but I like when you flip the fast action card. It's like, this guy goes to third, or this guy scores, or he doesn't, and that's it. I'm going to freeze. I'm going to freeze right there. I'm not going to go. I'm not going to push my luck. I'm going to freeze because it told me what it did, and I'm not always in the mood to start digging through runner speed and the arm of the fielder, and then the fielding rating of the base guy is going to catch the ball. Not what I want out of a baseball game. And I understand that makes it way more accurate. Just tell me if you get there. I just want to play. I don't want to enjoy it. I don't want to overthink it. For right now, that's where I am. Maybe at some point down the line, I'll want more. I'm like, oh yeah, give me all the ratings possible. Even with my hockey games, there's some hockey games that I play that, like, oh, this is just more than I want right now. I don't want to have to stop and compare these guys and compare the. I just want to play. Because again, I like to broadcast. I like to talk about the game and broadcast the game. And if I got to keep stopping and check, it takes me out of the broadcast booth and puts me into the instructions. And that's not where I want to be. So payoff pitch, I'm enjoying it. I don't know why I felt like I enjoyed it a lot more than I did. Maybe I just need to play it some more. Maybe that cheat sheet would help. Again, anything else, the more you play it, the more you know. The faster you can play it, and the more fun it is. Because I find the most fun, is that a word? The funnest thing about Pocket Pennant Run is I don't have to think about the game. I roll the dice, I see what happens, and I envision it and I broadcast that to myself, or if I'm streaming, I broadcast it because I'm not constantly looking things up. The result is there. And it's like when I broadcast a game at the rink, the result's in front of me. I'm not sitting there looking down and trying to sort out, who's got the better arm rating or whatever. So I got to find a way to make that happen with Payoff pitch is what I got to do. Oh, let's see here. What's another one here that I can talk about here? All right, let's talk about this one right here. I don't play a lot of OOTP. It's a great value. If you pick it up on sale for $20 off season or on a Black Friday sale, something like that, OOTP, it comes with all the seasons. It's got a bunch of different leagues. But like the franchise hockey manager, it's like sitting in the cockpit of a 747. You just got dials everywhere, and you just, where do I begin? And the last time I set up a fictional league, and I had some fun with it. I did. I had some fun with OTP. I got Ron Jouquet as my closer, and I'll bring him in. If you remember, I did 8 teams, and I think I got like the Hartford Hash Browns and the Boston Bacon, and I named them all off the breakfast stuff, the Seattle Sausages or whatever they were. It was just a fun little thing I did, and I created all my own stadiums, and it's a lot of fun. But when I tried to go back in and play in Cincinnati at Riverfront Stadium, for the life of me, I could not get that stadium to come up. And I tried and I tried and I tried, and I got it done before, but for some reason I just couldn't get that to come up. I would never manage a team. That's just not what I want to do is manage a team. So I just like to watch the little guys running around in the field. So I think the animations are fantastic. It's got the best animation, I think, out of any baseball game. And you get all the seasons. And again, it's a big, big baseball sandbox. It's one of these things where it's this deep, and I use this much of it. It's kind of like Photoshop. I use this much of Photoshop, and Photoshop is that deep. So OOTP is really, really fun. Yeah, I thought I played Commissioner Mode too. In fact, I play Franchise Hockey Manager in Commissioner Mode too because I play for the enjoyment of it. I don't play it for the challenge. I play for the enjoyment. I just want to enjoy the game and watch the guys run around the field and do their thing and talk about it. And and you can do that in OTP. You just have to learn how to do it all. And I find that game there, and again, I'm a hockey guy, and Franchise Hockey Manager is so difficult. I put everything on auto just to get through the day with that. And then I find my fun in it. I said this before as Franchise Hockey Manager. I found my fun in Franchise Hockey Manager. But there's so much of it that I don't deal with because it is very difficult. And the same with the OTP. I found some fun in there, but boy, I have a heck of a time getting around in that game. And yeah, Bernard, I do have it set up for the computer to make most of the decisions in OOTP. And I think that's what I normally do. I just let them. Sometimes I'll substitute a guy from time to time or whatever, but it's just that it's not really designed. See, the thing is, it's not designed for me. It's designed for someone who wants to run a team. I don't want to run a team. I just want to play the dang game and see the guys run around. So, that's kind of again, some of these games are just not designed for me. And that'll lead me into this other game here. Baseball Mogul. This is the first one I think I played. And I told this story many times at Digital Dice. This is one of the first games that I played outside of video games, as far as controllers. This was the one I played. This in Football Mogul I played, and I was like, oh, you can play any season. This is fun. So I bought the new ones. They were on sale. I bought Baseball Mogul and Football Mogul. And I again, this is not designed for what I wanted to do. This is designed to take one team to the championship. It's not designed to look at the schedule and pick out a game like you can with all the other baseball games and have it sim it. So you got to stick with the one team. Now you can sim ahead if you want. You don't have to play every game, but you only can play that one team. I think, although I shouldn't say that. I think there's a way that you can change it to controlling every team. Yeah, you can. You can play any game in there. it's just really funky how to get around and do all that. And you can't really like look at the whole schedule and pick a game. You got to kind of go into the individual team. So there is a workaround to play any game you want, but it's not really designed for that. But you can if you work it around. And it's that game's a breeze. Like trading players. I think I'm playing. What year am I playing? 76 Red Sox, and I put Reggie Jackson and Mark Fidrus on the Red Sox. And I'm just playing. I play a game here and there, and I'll sim a game here and there. And what's really fun about Baseball Mogul is like you can sim a game, you can get into a game and just go. You can skip an inning. You can play every at bat, and you can go pitch by pitch. And I like bouncing in and out because sometimes I'll be like, all right, let's skip ahead to the fifth inning. Get to the fifth inning. All right, now I'm going to stop playing. And then you get to the eighth. You're like, oh, let's see if I can. I'm going to go pitch by pitch. See if I can get out of the ninth inning. So it is really versatile when it comes to that. It does a lot of fun things. There is some animation there too. You see the pitchers in the batter swinging. So Baseball Mogul is a surprisingly fun game. Again, I really like the Baseball Moguls. SGJ, like the backdrop. Yeah, I'm trying something out here. I actually put a green screen behind me. It didn't quite work out so well, so I'm using the StreamYard default remove background thing, so it looks kind of funky, but I'm trying something new tonight. Season. I haven't tried the season ticket baseball yet. I do want to take a look at that. So I want to see if I can do the. See, I'll also talk to him about that. But Baseball Mogul, I'm enjoying. JT Judge, I remember playing the first ever Baseball Mogul to scramble players' names. Yeah, I didn't play that one. I think I played 14. I think that's what I had, 14 or 15. So that was a while ago that I played that. But it was kind of I'm having my fun with it. Again, it's another. I have so many games. I always say I need to go back to this. How many times if I had a nickel, every time I said I need to go back to this game, I could be rich right now. But that's the truth. I just have so many games, and I enjoy them all for different reasons. Everything on this list tonight, as you can tell, there's something I enjoy about it, and there's again nothing's ever perfect, but there's a lot about these games I enjoy, and every now and then you need to scratch a certain itch. It's like I'm gonna go play Baseball Mode because I feel like doing this. Like last night I played Inside the Pitch on the computer. I felt like playing inside pitch. That's what I did. Tonight I played APBA on the tabletop, and then I played APBA Go on the computer. That's what I felt like doing. So each game does something a little different. So that's what I like about it. But I do need to check out that season ticket baseball, Todd. I do. Let me see. Mogul looks great, but needs to fix its sim engine. Allow us to get rid of the financial gap. Well, that's what it is you're running the team. You're the Baseball Mogul running the baseball team. So it's not an action PC or a strat. It's a Mogul game. And it's a lot like OOTP, where there's a lot of financials. And some people love that. Some people want to work the finances. Some people want to make trades and better their team and the whole bit. Me, not so much. Riker, thank you so much for coming by as I'm just kind of chatting some baseball tonight. But it's funny. It's 3 degrees out on January 12th. I'm doing a baseball show. I don't know. It's just what I do. So Baseball Mogul. I've had some fun with Baseball Mogul. And as I say, I need to get back to Baseball Mogul. Let's see. What else is on my list of stuff here? Let's do this one here. So On Deck Baseball, that's the new fictional game to come out. There's you get a lot with that. It's an expensive game, but you get so much of that. You get the schedules, you get the score sheets. I mean, he went all out. He really did. Ian went all out with this game. If you're a baseball fan, you should really like this game. I've only played a couple of games. It was very enjoyable. It's not a very difficult game. Neither is it as simple as a Strat Basic or an APBA Basic or a Pocket Pennant, though, or a Pine Tar. I would put it above all those. Maybe not quite as deep or as difficult as Payoff Pitch. And I'm not saying Payoff Pitch is difficult, but compared to the easier games, On Deck is it's a little more advanced with it. He thought of everything. The pitcher fatigue in this game, I love the pitcher fatigue in this game, where if I remember correctly, if it goes beyond his inning or it goes beyond his runs, you roll the dice. and you look at the chart, and the dice will determine whether he's tired or not. And I thought that was fantastic. And I think there were certain criteria that if you rolled on the chart, it was really heavily weighted toward bringing him down a grade, which it should have been, but it was not a guarantee. So I always remember that On Deck had a fantastic fatigue system for pitchers. And it's a fun game too. On deck baseball is a really fun game. It's all fictional teams. If you like that kind of stuff, I had some fun with it. I played a couple of games. I think I played the Gators and the Drillers, and that was really kind of fun. I think if I had one suggestion, and I gave him a bunch of suggestions when he released the game, and some of it he like fixing the chart for running and stealing. It was all over the place, so he fixed it. Whereas low was good and high was bad, or vice versa. But at least you know that if you rolled a 1 or a 10, it was going to save you time from looking at the chart, because he had it all sprinkled all over the place. So you were going to be surprised at, whatever the result was. But you could never memorize anything that way. So I think he did come out with a second set of charts. So your low was good and your high was or bad, or whatever it was. But you know that if you were rolling a certain way, it was going to be better for one team or the other. And I think people want that, I think, because you don't want to have to look every single time. You want to start to memorize something to speed the game up, I think. So he has the 2 sets of charts for that. That was good. The other thing I would suggest is make some smaller cards. Those things are huge. They're like, you ever seen the Joker's Wild on TV? Joker, it's like high or low. Remember the game High or Low, and had the huge cards? Like, is it higher than a 7? Yes, it is. Is it higher than a queen? No, these cards are just so big. They take up so much room. They're hard to maneuver. So I would like to see a version of that game scaled down with a smaller card, so you could get at the data and you wouldn't have to have this big clunking thing in the way. That's just me. It's a very different game, but I think we're all used to playing things a certain way, and this just stepped out of that box. Card Sharks, Robbie. Thank you. Card Sharks. Yeah, JT. Yeah. Wasn't that a great game, though? Higher than a 2? Yes. All right. It's a jack. Higher, lower, lower, lower. It's a 5. Higher or lower, higher. That was a great game. It was. It was. I love Card Sharks. And those cards are so big. But that's what it feels like. I myself, I would like to see smaller cards. I would play it more with smaller cards, because it's just got such a big footprint when you pull it out with the big cards. That, again, this my personal thing is, unless I'm playing in Studio B and I have the whole, Studio C, I have the whole table. Down here in Studio B, I got just like half a desk to work with, so I need a smaller footprint with that there. All right, I think there's one more game here that I want to talk about. So I've done Strat, APBA, Payoff, Pitch, Inside Baseball, Mogul, Pine Tar, Pocket, Pennant Run, OOTP, On Deck. Yeah, so the only other game here that I want to talk about here is this one right here, the History Maker Baseball from Play. So I got this this summer, and it sat over here for a long time. For whatever reason, I never pulled it out, and I got the fictional teams, and I was like, oh, this would be fun to try the fictional guys, and I never got to it. So during Black Friday, I ordered the 1980 season. I said, okay, well, maybe if I got 1980, it would give me some incentive to go try this game out. And so I went over and I went up to Studio B and I set it up, and I had a real hard time getting it set up. Because I had one thing with the umpires and one thing with the field and the players, and I had the teams in stacks, but the cards are so small. If there's one game I think for Play that you should have the bigger cards, it would be the History Maker Baseball. And they don't necessarily have to be huge, but just make them APBA or Strat size, because there's times it's like, okay, is this guy this? And you got to thumb through these little cards, and I found it to be very, very clumsy and very awkward. Okay, yes, this guy is this, and then put him back. And then you roll in the next at bat. It's like, now I got to check this guy. And I'm thumbing through this guy. And I found it. So then I said, okay, let me lay them all out. They're small enough to lay out. So I laid them all out. But then I'm like, well, now where am I going to put my umpires? And then I still got to need the chart book somewhere, and I need the instructions so I can figure out, because there's a lot of questions I have. And I just got aggravated. I never could get this game set up, I guess is the best way to put it. I couldn't get it set up. It just didn't work. I was rolling the dice and I was following the game. It wasn't that. But it just got to a point where I just was like, I kept changing my setup, and I put down a mat and I take the mat away and I lay the guys out and then I put them in a stack, and then I try putting this here. And after about like an hour of this, I just was like, I just can't figure out what I want to do with this game. I guess I wasn't comfortable. As I guess that's the best way to put it. I couldn't get comfortable. I just, no matter what I set it up, or where I put my, like Hockey Blast, I got my mat, I got my players, I got my chart book here, and Hockey Blast, I don't have a problem with. This game here, I just couldn't get comfortable setting this. I couldn't get a setup for this game. And I played a couple of innings, and it was going all right. But again, I kept changing everything. It's like I just was very irritated trying to set this up. And it's probably more my fault than it is the game, but I just couldn't get it right. And then there was a few other things that when I'm reading the instructions, it was like almost the same thing with payoff pitch, where it's like payoff pitch, if you hit from a tough on 2 outs, it's this. If it's in the wheelhouse with 1 out, it's this. And there was a lot of that with History Maker Baseball, whereas if this guy just got a strikeout, then he comes in and he's cold. But if he got a hit, then he's hot or he's sunny. And it was all these stipulations. And maybe that was in the advanced game. So maybe if I just played basic, I could have ignored all that. I just felt I had to remember so much in this game that I would need a cheat sheet for that. Like payoff pitch, I would need to create a cheat sheet with all the individual things, because I got done doing that and I'm like, I don't remember any of this. Seriously. And I was aggravated with the setup, and I became overwhelmed. The more I read the instructions, the more overwhelmed I was, because I thought it would be a heck of a lot easier of a game, because the golf game is easy. The racing game is somewhat easy. And I don't mean easy in a bad way. I'm not trying to say that I want these to be Candyland or anything like that. But this game here there was so much to remember. If the pitcher comes in at a certain time, then this, and I would really need a whole cheat sheet of all this extra stuff I needed to remember. So that, and digging through the tiny cards to try to see if somebody was stoic or if he was a gold or iron. And I don't have a problem with that gameplay, but just I never got that game to flow on my table. And looking at the chart, I followed it along, and everything worked out well. I didn't get stuck on that, but just the whole setup on my table, trying to go through the cards, and then trying to remember everything that I needed to remember for this game was more than I wanted in a baseball game at the time. And it just so happened that, after I put this away, Pocket Pennant come out, and I was like, well, this is more what I was looking for. So the Pocket Pennant, it just checked all the boxes for me as far as ease of play and the whole bit. But for me, I had a hard time. I had a hard time setting up the History Maker Baseball, and that's just me. Just not. It just didn't work for me. Get back to my baseball talk here. Just talking baseball here. So that was the last one I tried there. I'm not saying I'll never go back to it, but with all these other games that I am enjoying, that I did not have any frustration with, and it's surprising. I thought I was going to love it, because I love the golf. I love the football. Oh my gosh, this game here. I'm going to see it here. Oh, it's green. It's green. So, there it is. It's green. That's why you can't see it. Oh, you can see the baseball behind it. That's kind of neat. Second season. Oh my gosh. This game is genius. I love second season. I know we're talking baseball here, but I just want to say that, I don't want anybody to think that I don't like to play games. I love to play games. I love the golf. I love the racing. And I don't even like racing, but I like the racing game. I got that for Christmas last year. And the second season, oh man, I need to I need to get more seasons for that because I want to play. I want to play every season. I want to play every game. I just played the other day. I finished up my Cleveland Browns Houston Oilers from 1980. It's so much fun. And someone asked, how long does it take to play second season? It takes a long time. You know, so I don't care. I don't care. I use the Pro Football Helper. I log in all my stats, and it takes 2 or 3 hours. And it's one of those games I don't care because it's so good. It flows really nice. Everything's laid out beautifully in that game. You find everything. I've yet to get stuck in second season, and that's how it just plays so nice. I like it better than the Express. I bought the game so I could play the Express and play some quick games. I'm enjoying the full play game. That game is just magic. It is. And how they have the chart set up, it is just magic. Don't be nervous about it. The Hockey Blast, I like the hockey. I like to say, I found my fun with Hockey Blast. And I almost pulled that out the other day and played it. And I played something else. I forget what I think. Oh, I was on the baseball. So I'm going to play baseball this week instead of hockey. The Hockey Blast, I do like it, but I have to play it the Dave way. There's just a lot of things that happen in Hockey Blast. Again, it's like a game. Remember the Price is Right game, Plinko, when you take the disc and you drop it down, it goes all the way to the bottom and it lands somewhere at the bottom. It tells you what you won for a prize. That's what the Hockey Blast feels like. Is that thing? If you roll the dice and you start going down fights and penalties, that game just turns into a slog, and it becomes not fun. And that could be for any hockey game or football game with a lot of penalties and other things like that. But for some reason, it just seemed like Hockey Blast. I just ran into that quite a bit. So I find myself playing it the Dave way. So I scoop away a lot of the things that clog up Hockey Blast, and what's left is really fun. But I just can't play it the right way. And I will say, in my defense, I've watched a handful of play streams, and Keith has run into some of the same problems I've run into. So I don't feel bad saying this because I've seen him on a stream, and he's like, wow, let's not do this tonight and move on. And it's all, so there's some things in that game that just don't make it fun. And we're all about playing fun. So I've seen him do that a couple of times where he's skipped fights or he's, penalties come up and he's just done something. So he's run into some of the same issues that I had playing Hockey Blast. So I don't feel so bad saying that. But I found my fun in Hockey Blast. History Maker Baseball, I don't know. It could have been a bad day for me, and I think that's a good show topic, is being ready for a game. Because sometimes I'll sit down, I'll be in a bad mood, and I just won't like a game because I'm in a bad mood, and something will bother me about the game. I just don't feel like doing it right now. I had a bad day at work, or it's cold out, or I stubbed my toe, or I'm not feeling well, and I try to play a game, and I try to force myself to play a game, and I'm not ready for it. So, so the History Maker Baseball, I'm not getting rid of it. I'd like to go back and learn it because I got the 80 season, but I have to find a way to set up to make it work. And all these other games I didn't have a problem with. I played APBA tonight, and I just had the one sheet of paper and my cards, and that was it. And the chart. It was like easy. Strat's the same way. You get the one chart you flip over from time to time, and that's all you need. Payoff pitch, I need a cheat sheet for. Inside pitch, I need Einstein to show me how to play that. But I still play it on the computer, have some fun. Baseball Mogul on the computer is fun. Pine Tar, another fun game, needs more seasons for me to really dig into that. Because I don't want to get into Pine Tar because I only have one season. So I'll play some select games from that. But if it had a lot of seasons, then I would be more willing to embrace a game that I would want to play a lot more. Pocket Pennant Run is my ideal game right now. Although, like I say, from time to time, I do hanker for that hunk of cheese, hanker for something a little bit deeper. I just haven't found out what that is yet. Because it seems like once you get out of that basic mode and you try to go into something where you're checking ratings, it's a big deal. It's not a small leap. It's a big leap. Just my impressions of some of these games is that if you go from basic to advanced, it's a big jump, and it just takes me out of the fun of the game. OOTP I talked about. That really needs no explanation. On deck I talked about a little bit tonight. There's some things I like about that a lot, and some things I would change it, and I would play it more with some changes. And the Action PC replay and Action PC and the replay PC games are just fantastic. And replay is so fun. And I almost feel I almost feel dirty when I fire up PC replay baseball and I input stats from another game. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of feel a little dirty. I feel like I'm kind of using it a little bit. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm using PC replay because I'm not playing PC replay. I'm playing, Strat or Payoff pitch or most recently the pocket pennant, and I'm using it to keep the stats. I do. I feel dirty. I feel like I'm using it. I need to take a shower after I do that because I don't feel it's right. I don't feel it's right that I'm using that game to keep my stats because there's already a game in there. But it's like bringing your own food to a restaurant kind of thing, sort of. I don't know, just me. But I did talk a little bit about Action PC baseball. Yes, I like it. Now that I've really put some time into it, and Ron's walked me through a few things to set it up so I can play it how I want to play. So I don't have to play home or away. I just bat, and I let the computer do everything else, and I just kind of watch it play out, which I like. I do, and if I want to get involved, then I can get involved. But I do like I do like just kind of watching it play out. And not everybody does. And I don't like it all the time, but sometimes I like, probably because I started playing shootout hockey, where I watched the stats unfold in front of me. It told a story, as they say. It told a story, and I admit that I get aggravated when I play a game and I manage a team and I lose. I get aggravated, and that's why I stopped playing Madden, and that's why I stopped playing, NHL 20 or whatever the heck it was. Because I couldn't win. It aggravated the heck out of me. So when I play these games here and I don't have to pick a side, I don't lose. I can just watch it, and I kind of, I just enjoy that. I do. Let's see here. Fenner, for second season, you need to watch my videos on how the timekeeping works. Here's what I do. Okay. And let me just take my seltzer drink here. Here's what I do for timing is I use the inside blitz football timing. Okay. And it works out really well. So what inside blitz does is on runs and passes that are in bounds, it's 40 seconds off the clock. Anything out of bounds, anything, an incomplete pass, a flag, a punt, a kickoff is 10 seconds. That's how I do it. And so when I do the Pro Football Helper, I just check off 10 seconds for an incomplete pass, a kickoff, or punt, or a penalty. So if I run a play and it's a penalty, it's 10 seconds. And again, I tried one time, and what game was I using? Was it Solitaire Pro Football that I tried to estimate the exact time for every play? So, incomplete pass was 5 seconds or 7 seconds. It's not 10 seconds on an incomplete pass. It just, plays don't take that long. And even on, runs and stuff, it's not always going to be 40 seconds by the time they get up to the line of scrimmage. But the thing is, sometimes these games are designed for so many plays. You know what I mean? So it's designed for X amount of plays. And if you were to play it like real life football, you get way too many plays. And I imagine second season's design is the same way. But I read how they did the timing, and they have a couple different timing options. But I just do the 40 seconds for most plays, and I do whatever the 10 seconds for everything else. Extra points and field goals, I do 0 seconds. Anything in the end zone for a touchback on a kickoff is 0 seconds as well. So that's what I do for timing, and it's easy. And there's a hurry up option I use too. So if a team's trailing or if they're hurrying up at the end of the half, I'll only do 20 seconds instead of 40, because they're going to hurry to the line. So instead of huddling up and watching the clock tick, 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 I will do 20 seconds. So that's what I do. So the timing is, I use my own timing for that, and it's really, really easy. Let's see here. Fall Classic baseball. I'll have to check it out. There's some, I've seen a few that you guys would talk about in the chat that I haven't played yet. Status Pro Baseball, I haven't played yet either. So it's something there. That's the thing about baseball, is there's so many baseball games that, you could there's probably a million of them. So that's, but I have, like I said, I got 13 here that I've been playing and enjoying, or at least enjoying most of them. Yeah, I don't play replay baseball and basketball because I can jump game. Yeah, well, that's the thing about that. It's the PC replay baseball and basketball. You can jump around. You can jump into different games. You can play every game. You can not play. You can leave a game if you want. You can send to the end. Yeah, they're really good. The basketball game was slowing down for me. I don't know why. The damn basketball game was dying on me. So I had a hard time with that. In the baseball, I still play it. Like I said, I got the 80 season going, the 79 season going. And right now, I'm playing the 80 World Series. It took me a while to figure that out. NPNG is APBA like and free. I should check that out. I did the APBA Go tonight, and I was like, why did I stop playing APBA Go? Because APBA's fun. Well, now I know why. APBA Go, it's about 75% the way there. It needs to do a couple different things. You need to be able to have options during the game, because it's all web browser based, that you're kind of limited to what you can do with it. And the whole thing about saving stats and putting into the collections, it's so, how I was reading some of the instructions tonight, and I was like, wow, that is just it's a little more than I want to. I want to play the game, save the stats. I don't want to have to start dragging it into collections and setting up collections and setting up line. Jeepers creepers, just save something for me. Just save something. When I play Action PC or anything else on the OOTP, it saves it. It's all done. It's like boom, saves everything's all. I don't have to go start playing around with stuff. So I should check that out. NPNG Plus is free. It plays exactly like app. I should check it out then. I will. I'm gonna write that down right now. All right. So NPNG Plus. I will write that down and check that out. I will. That'll be next on my list. You think I'll pick up Pine Tower again? It's pretty quick and fun. Okay, Fian. Yes. I will absolutely pick up Pine Tower again. In fact, I have it right here. I was just flicking through it tonight. Look at my Pine Tower folder here. I was just flicking through it tonight, reading the directions again, because I wanted to talk about it. I wanted to refresh everything here before I talked about it tonight. And it's just got the 2 tables. I like that, and I have my my team card here. So this is my Red Sox, I think. Yeah, Boston 82. So I get 82. Here, you can't see it too much here. I'm disappearing again. I can see it a little bit there. This green screen's messing it up. But I have my so I played Milwaukee, Boston. 82 is the season I got with that. And I think I bought 73. Was that the other season I had with Pine Tar? Because they don't have a lot of good seasons for me. And so that's another thing we talked about on the show is I don't want to get involved in a game that doesn't have a lot of seasons, or like APBA baseball, which when I played tonight, I was surprised how much I really, really liked APBA baseball. But it's $78 if I want to buy 1980. That's a lot of money to spend on a baseball season. So I might get that one season because I really like it. But Pine Tar is the opposite. Pine Tar is inexpensive, but they don't have a lot of seasons. But it's not designed for that. Like I said, when I talked about Pine Tar, it's designed to play best teams against best teams. It's not really designed to play 2 scrubs. And I like playing scrub teams. Far says Inside Pitch is one of your favorites. I have the computer game. I talked a little bit about that here on the show tonight. And the computer game it's complex. I could never do the cards and dice. I'll be honest with you. When the computer does there's so many adjustments. You got to add the pitcher and the batter double play. runner advancement. Just the computer does all the heavy lifting. So if it's a walk plus or a K plus, it adds 10, and it does that right on the screen for me. So I couldn't do it. There's no way I could do all that. As again, some of these other games I talked about tonight about all the things you have to remember. This is at the top of the list of things in a game that there's all these things you got to remember. So inside pitch, I think on my list here is the most difficult to play. If you don't include OOTP as far as like all the general manager stuff, if you just include just baseball playing, inside pitch, I think is the most difficult game on my list of games. I'm not saying it's the most difficult, but on my list of games that I played, this is the one that when I played on the PC, on the PC version, I like it and I enjoy it. I just make a ton of mistakes, and considering how much help you get from the PC, there's no way I could do the cards and dice version. And I'm not knocking the game. It's just for me, where I am in my head with my enjoyment, the PC is where I'm going to wrap that up with. So, 4th Street baseball. I have not looked at any of the 4th Street stuff yet. They got the baseball, hockey. I'm pretty sure. I imagine they have basketball and football too, but I have not looked at them yet. If you can play that in cards and dice for holy cow, you and Robert. I mean, I hats off to you. That's a busy game. I try to follow it just on the computer, and when it pops up things on the computer, it's like, how did you get that? I didn't get that. And it drives me nuts. And I look at the cards, it's like, how did you get that? Sometimes even Inside Blitz does that. I'm like, how did you come up with that? I'm getting good at Inside Blitz on the PC, but I'm like, how did you come up with that? And I try to backtrack. It's like, oh man. So, yeah, I saw that, Bernard. I was actually playing a game tonight. I tried to play the sample teams. For $20 a month, you can play every team every year. Yep, save the $70. I thought about that, but the only thing is, I don't know if you could keep the stats with that, and it was just kind of weird. It just was. I rolled my own dice and I had some fun with it. I might get a month for $28 and play a couple of games. With the APBA, it just, I would like it to keep some stats for me. I think it can sim games, but I don't know if it does standings. It's really weird how it's done. I think APBA is really designed for you to play a buddy online in a game of APBA. It's not designed for a single player like me who wants to just play a game here and there. Oh, you can keep stats? Yeah. I haven't seen a good video on that either. Maybe I will try it out because I do like the APBA baseball. And I suppose if I had the chart in front of me, I could follow along a little bit because I rolled the dice and it tells you what happened, but it doesn't. Yeah, I have to. I like to follow along. I guess is what I'm getting at. So maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll order the new book or something. But I thought about that instead of spending 78. But well, I could buy the 1980 season for $20, and then for $20 I could play it on here. So maybe I would do that. And you said the instructions I pitch are horribly written though. I didn't think they were that bad. I just thought there was a lot of things that changed during the game, or you have to check, or there's a lot going on. And I think my biggest gripe about it is being a visual person and a broadcaster. When I roll the dice and it goes from a possible home run to a ground ball to short or something like that, that's a pretty hefty change. If I get a possible home run check, I'm envisioning that ball going out to the outfield so if it went from possible home run to a deep fly or something like that, I'm okay. But don't tell me it's a possible home run. Oh no, it's a strikeout, or it's a ground ball to short. That was my biggest issue with the inside pitch when I played it. It's kind of like, oh, you hit the lottery. Oh no, you got 2 numbers, so you got a free ticket. That's a pretty big jump from almost hitting the lottery, The APBA was great. I like, because like I said, you roll that 66, you see the one home run, and I was actually memorizing. 13 was a strikeout, 14 was a walk, 8 was a single. I was starting to memorize some of the numbers like I do in hockey. And so I was like, oh, I'm kind of digging the APBA baseball. And I like how the chart spelled it all out. So I'm tempted to buy the book in a season with APBA. I'm kind of tempted, but I'm tempted to give the Go a chance too. Maybe I'll spend the $20 and try the Go for a season, for a month, and and do that. Although it is fun having the cards in front. I got to say, it is fun. When I play the APBA cards and dice, it was fun doing that. It really was. So anyway. And so, well, Forrest is a rocket science, so he can figure out all this stuff, you know. Use Game Changer on the iPad. Oh, I gotta write that down. Game Changer. I need a good stat program. So Game Changer, Game Changer, iPad. I'm writing down some of the notes here. That's why I kind of did this chat too, so I could get some feedback on this stuff. Yeah, and Southpaw, yes, good. NPNG, yes, I need to do that because someone made a point about that too. Is the NPNG? Now that's a computer game, I think, right? NPNG. So I'll have to check that out. But yeah, all these games I talked about tonight: Strat-O-Matic, Payoff, Pitch, Inside Pitch, Baseball, Mogul, Pine Tar, History Maker Baseball, Pocket Pennant Run, OOTP, On Deck, Action PC, PC Replay. I think that's all the ones I have, and they all do something that I enjoy, and I like having all these different games because you want, sometimes they're just in the mood for something a little bit different. Oh yeah, MGD. I got multiple game disorder. Absolutely, I'm always looking for a new game. I'm looking for a better game, because the thing is, because there's no perfect game, that all of these games on my list, they all do something a little different. They all do something a little different that I enjoy. And even like I say, I have a ton of hockey games, and I got my favorites. But every now and then I want to play. Like I'll pull out the Hockey Blast. Like I want to play something a little bit different. I'm gonna play the Hockey Blast. Or I pulled out Shootout Easy the other day, and I did the whole Stanley Cup Finals from start to finish. That was kind of fun. So. National Pastime Next Generation plays exactly like APBA. Cards and dice, a computer board reader available. Okay, I will check that out, Southpaw. Thank you. NPC Plus is cards and desk. Every season is free. Plays exactly. Okay. All right. Then when we hang up here, I'm gonna go watch some videos at NPNG Plus. You got me thinking now. You got me thinking. But I do like the APBA. When I played that tonight, I gotta be honest. I thought it was really cool that I looked at the chart and it said, okay, if you got first and second and you get an 8, here's exactly what happens. If you roll a 15, here's exactly what happens. There was no doubt in my mind when I got done, and I like how it had a little bit of description in it too. Fly ball into the deep left center, and he hauls it in. So it gave you a little bit of something to go on to. It just didn't say F8. It gave you a little fun little thing to read. So but I did like it. I gotta say, I liked it when I played it when I first got it. When the person said it to me, I played it and I really, really liked it. And I really, really liked it again tonight. I did. I really, really liked what I played. It was a lot of fun. APBA is designed from NPNG. Okay. Okay. I'll have to check it out. Yeah, and I might try it for a month. See if I can get it to work. But I like to have the book in front of me so I can roll the dice and see what it is. So that way, I don't have to sit there and just like, because I felt kind of weird. Like I was just like, okay, punch in, okay, 1-3, click. Oh, and it's this. Okay, great. 25, click this. I kind of want to look at the card and see what it is and look at the chart. So again, following along. I like to follow along with that stuff. So I will. All right. So I got some things to look at. NPNG Plus, I got to look at. I got to look at Game Changer on the iPad. And again, if you're watching this after the fact, just leave me a note. As some of the things I talked about, if you got suggestions on how to fix some of the stuff here that I had issues with, great. I do need to make cheat sheets for Payoff, Pitch, and History Maker Baseball. I need to make cheat sheets to get them to work because I just won't remember that stuff. Inside Pitch, I'm not going to bother. I'm going to just keep playing that on the PC. Sorry, I just will. It's going to be PC only. Pine Tar needs to have more seasons. They got 82, which is great. I like 82, and I'll play a little bit more of that. But I'd like to have 79 or 80 with that. Well, but the price is right with Pine Tar, and it plays really fun. But I think right now I'll be playing mostly Pocket Pennant Run. It's just I'm in the baseball mood. I'll do that. I think I'm gonna go back to the one behind me here, Action PC. I think I'm gonna play some of that tonight as well. Not tonight, coming up, because that does everything I wanted to do, and I really got that now that I know how to get it set up just right. It is so fun. I'm really enjoying the Action PC baseball now. Back to base. Yeah, I was watching. Who was doing that? Was that Sportsman Z that was doing the Back to Basics? I was watching that, and that looked okay. Although I'm not concerned. I'm a little concerned on where I would find like all the teams and all the players, because I guess it's on a website or something you go to, and I don't know. And it's a whole fast action card thing. And I got to admit, I like rolling the dice. I like seeing the dice come out of that chute and looking at the chart. I do. Fast action cards could be fun. So I might check out Back to Basics. I think it was like $15 or something like that. I might check it out. Although you got to print out all the fast action cards and cut them all up and all that other stuff there, I guess. But I guess not the end of the world. So, but I might have to check that back. I was looking at that too because I heard it was similar. But I do like the Pocket Pennant Run. I gotta say it's for all its little quirks and flaws. I like it. So I don't know how to play craps. I was in Vegas. Was it Vegas? Yeah, I was in Vegas, and they had a free clinic on it at the hotel we were staying at, and it just so happened that we were all walking around, and the guy's like, "Yep, 11 o'clock this morning. Come on over to the table, show you how to play craps." And so he was explaining it all, and we were placing like fake bets and stuff like that, so we could learn how to play it, and it was interesting. There's a lot going on with that. The goal line, the come line, the 11s, the beat the I started to get lost. And then again, it's Vegas, so there's a lot more going on than that. But it was kind of neat. They started to show us how to play it, but I did. One thing I wanted to play in Vegas that I never did was is it Kung Pao Poker? I think it's called. It's I think it's a Korean version of poker, Pai poker. And they had a couple of rooms set up, and you play against a dealer. And I think it's one of these things you get 7 cards, and you make a hand of 5 and a hand of 2. And if you beat the dealer, then you win. If he beats you, you win. If you split, then you don't lose your bet. It's almost like a push in blackjack. But I think that the Pai poker, I wanted to sit and play that, but I got intimidated because there was so many people, like I said, there was a bunch of Asian people playing it, and I just didn't want to be the lone guy on the outside playing this game. But when I had casino games on the PC, I would play that game. I liked it. But I never played in the casino. I just would play it here. I get intimidated. Like I said, I get intimidated in casinos. I don't even like to play blackjack. I'll play slots or something, or roulette. I like the roulette. But I like the roulette the best, I think. Although the odds of winning are terrible on roulette, but I do like roulette. All right, let's wrap it up here. A couple more comments here. Yeah, Pai Gao. Yeah, that's what it is. I always like that. I did. It's in, and you had to hunt for it though. It wasn't like a regular, because everything's now that I don't know what kind of poker it is they have now that they have on ESPN, but that's like the hot thing that you find now. So you got to really hunt for a Pai Gao table. And let's see. Cardboard baseball by Donnie is fun. You can use your baseball cards. Yeah, I'd have to go dig them all out. I think they're over here behind me here. I should go dig them out. I saw some people, what they were doing is they were scanning their baseball cards and putting them in some of the games, like the games here and stuff like that. That'd be kind of neat to do too. But anyway. All right. I didn't think I'd go this long. Then holy cow, 90-minute talk on baseball here on the Hockey Guy channel, right? but anyway, yeah, I'm interested. I know I probably opened up a couple can of worms here by some of the things I talked about here tonight, but I'd like your feedback. I mean, I know that everyone has a favorite game and the whole bit. So yeah, I'm looking for feedback here because I've been playing a ton of baseball. Don't know why, but I've been in baseball mood, and it's like last time when I had my basketball mood, I played a ton of basketball games. But I've been really enjoying the baseball games I've been playing for the most part. Some have just work better for me than others, and I guess that's just, it all depends on what works for you. And some guys love inside pitch. I don't think I could ever play that. I I have a real hard time with it, and I enjoy playing what I can figure out on the PC, and that's good enough for me. But I'd rather play like an APBA or a Strat. I really would. I think it just plays a little bit easier. So, but anyway, all righty. It is 3 degrees. 3 degrees. I gotta go. I bought a new electric blanket today. Did I tell you? I got home from the rink last night. It was after 11, and it was freezing. And I said, I'm gonna put on the electric blanket to warm up the bed before I go to bed. And I turned it on, and there's two sides. There's two little controllers, one for one side, one for the other. And one side went on and one side didn't. I'm like, uh-oh. Click, 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 click. And I'm unplugging and plug. I'm checking connections. Son of a bitch, the electric blanket died on the coldest night of the year. It did. Well, one side. Luckily, it was only one side. So I snuggled over the other side and put it on me, and I was like, "Well, hopefully this will keep me warm," because it was cold last night. And so today I went out and I got a new electric blanket. So I get the new electric blanket. I put it on the bed. I check it out. Seems to be working. Me and the dog took a nap this afternoon, so it seems to be working. What happens tonight at supper time? My power goes out. It's the coldest night of the year. It's single digits. It's dropping. It's 3 degrees right now. At the time, I think it was like 8. I'm like, oh, isn't this great? It's 8 degrees out. I got a brand new electric blanket and no electricity. Oh, that's just how it went. That's how. Luckily, the power was only out for about a half hour or so, but it come back on. But it's still a funny story to tell. It's a funny story to tell. Yeah, right. To each his own. To each his own. Play the game you want and play it the way you want. You really do. And I like I said, that's why I played all these different games. I wanted to try. I like to try them all out. I do, and I find fun in each one of them. And they're all unique in their own way. They really are, and they all do some fun things, and they all do some things that frustrate me. So there's not one perfect game. Oh, you like the hat? Yeah, I dug that out. I had to wear my Expos hat tonight. I did. Oh, I forgot Martinez paid for the pitch for the Expos. You're exactly right. Steve Rogers. Yep, that's another good one. Yep. Wow. The other guys I don't know. I don't know Morton and Grimsley, but yeah, I forgot about Pedro with Montreal. Good catch on that. Good catch on that, Southpaw. That's good. SGG Jamie 59 down here in St. Pete. Oh, I feel so terrible for you. Before I go, I was sitting around tonight when the power came back on. I was just kind of sitting. I was in my couch. Remember I told you I got a couch, and it's got the power recliner. And I always thought, it's like, well, what's going to happen if I'm sitting in that and the power goes out? Well, that's exactly what happened tonight. The power went out, and I'm leaned back in the couch, and I'm stuck. It's like, what do I do? It won't go down. It won't go down. So trying to climb out of the thing with the legs up in the air. Oh, it's too funny. It's too funny. But when I come back on, I was watching a video on speaking about power outages and stuff, I was watching a video on lightning strikes. Oh my gosh. On YouTube, it was people almost getting hit by lightning and stuff. There was one guy walking his dog, and the lightning hit right behind him, and he just went boom, and his dogs ran off, and he went down on his face, and he lived. But it was like he got shot. He just went boom, and just all these other stuff there of people just like, houses and trees and stuff. It just, oh my gosh, those lightning strikes are no joke. Oh my god! I started watching like all this natural disaster stuff with like snow, what are they called, avalanches and mudslides and water waves. There was a guy in a house, and the water come up and like just took his porch out to see. I was like, oh my god! I was like groaning. The wife's like, "What are you watching?" I'm like, "I'm watching this like video on like nature." And it's just wrecking stuff between wind and hail, and it was like I had to turn it off. It was so depressing. It's like, yeah, I'm all set with this stuff here. But anyway, fun stuff out there. 60 in San Diego. Yes, it is. Of course it is. And Bill Lee was my pitcher tonight, by the way, before I go, Bernard. When I did my APBA baseball, it was 1978. It was Bill Lee against Wilcox. Yeah, Milt Wilcox and Bill Lee. Those were my pitchers tonight in my APBA baseball game from 1978, which is the only season I have. So anyway, all right, I got some things to check out. MPNG, that's going to be first on my list. I want to check that out. Could be fun. Thanks everybody for coming by tonight. Thanks for those great suggestions. Thanks for the chat. I had a rare night off here on Tuesday because it was just COVID raging through the league and 3 degrees outside, and it just didn't make much sense to try to play hockey tonight. So I'm home tonight trying out my new green screen in the background here. I gotta do some adjusting on here, but I don't know. It seemed to work okay. We'll play around with it. But I got more baseball to check out, more baseball to play, and the whole bit. Having some fun with all that. I'm Dave. Thanks everybody tuning in tonight here during some baseball talk here on the channel. We'll talk to everybody later. Bye-bye.